Good morning. I hope that everybody is doing well. Welcome on in. Please say hello as you come on in. Drop it in the chat. Share it with your friends. I'm glad that you all could make it with me this morning. So I'm excited because we have this upcoming conference, The Well. If you have not registered, please do so. This is our women's conference that's coming up. We are so excited about it. When you think about the woman at the well, she experienced Jesus and her life was changed forevermore. Everybody that encountered Jesus, their lives were changed one way or the other. Something happened and their lives were changed. And so I would just encourage you to come to this conference because we are expecting an encounter with Jesus Christ. We are expecting to experience him. So the Well Conference is going to be August 22nd through the 24th. That is a Friday through Sunday. It is a free event. We're going to be doing baptisms at the end, so we're excited about that, and it's just going to be powerful. So I would encourage you to come out. Thank you, everyone that's joined me here. If you would please just drop a comment, let me know who's watching. That would be great. And we're going to pray, and we are going to get into this thing. Yes. So, Father God, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to come before you, the opportunity to serve you, first and foremost, to see your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and to seek first the kingdom and your righteousness. God, I pray that you would use me for your glory right now to release what I believe that you have given to me, and to encourage your children in Jesus' name. Hello, Michelle. Thank you so much. Love from the Philippines. Sending love back from the East Coast of the United States. And hey, Kimberly, how are you doing? I hope that all is well. Thank you so much for joining. Please let folks know. Share this with people. So today we're going to be looking at Isaiah 44, and while this isn't something that I just wanted to speak on, it's something that he was talking to me about, and I think that it's important. So this chapter is Isaiah, actually it's God speaking through Isaiah, and he is releasing a word. And so I'm going to read through it because there's just a lot here, but I'm going to draw attention to a particular area. This is going to be both encouraging, but it's also a warning too. So we'll go through. All right, and I'm reading out of the Amplified, Isaiah chapter 44. But now listen, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. This is what the Lord who made you and formed you from the womb, who will help you, says, Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and Jeshurun, whom I have chosen, for I will pour out water on him who is thirsty, and streams on the dry ground. I will pour out my spirit on your offspring and my blessing on your descendants. So he says that he's going to pour out his water on him who's thirsty. So we were even just talking about the well, and then Jesus, he just keeps bringing me back to Matthew 5 and 6. You know, this is the Sermon on the Mount, and this is where Jesus is just giving us so much teaching. He's just using his words to teach. He also used his life, but he's using his words to teach in Matthew 5 and 6 and 7. And yeah, he speaks about those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, they will be filled, right? But let's keep going here. So he's talking about, thirsting, right? And they will spring up among the grass like willows by the streams of water. One will say, I am the Lord's, and another will name himself after Jacob, and another will write on his hand, I am the Lord's. and be called by the honorable name of Israel. For the Lord, the King of Israel and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, says this: I am the first and I am the last, and there is no God besides me. So he is showing us who he is. Who is like me? Let him proclaim it and declare it. Yes, let him confront me. Since I established the people of antiquity, and let them tell those people the things to come and the events that are going to take place. Do not tremble nor be afraid. Have I not long proclaimed it to you and declared it? And you are my witnesses. Is there a God besides me? There is no other rock. I know of none. So even this is like a, hey, Clea, welcome. This is a call out to say, who is God? And even foretelling of, Jesus when he comes and walks the earth, that he is the rock, right? He is the cornerstone. So I love that. I'm just calling out a couple notes here, but we're about ready to get into this portion right here. He's saying who he is. He's declaring who is God. Now we're going to go into this. Verse 9. All who make carved idols are nothing. Their precious objects are worthless, and their own witnesses fail to see or know, so they will be put to shame. Who has made a god or cast an idol which is profitable for nothing? In fact, all his companions will be put to shame, for the craftsmen themselves are mere men. Let them all assemble. Let them stand up. Let them be terrified. Let them together be put to shame. The ironsmith shapes iron and uses a chisel and works it over the coals. He forms the idol's core with hammers and works it with his strong arm. He also becomes hungry and his strength fails. He drinks no water and grows tired. The carpenter stretches out a measuring line. He marks out the shape of the idol with red chalk. He works it with planes and outlines it with the compass, and he makes it like the form of a man, like the beauty of a man, that it may sit in a house. He cuts cedar for himself and takes a cypress or an oak and lets it grow strong. For himself among the trees of the forest, he plants a fir, and the rain nourishes it. Then it becomes fuel for a man to burn. And this is the part that I really want to drill in here. So we're talking about the creation of idols here, different people creating idols. And now we're getting into this part about the wood and about the fire. Then it becomes fuel for a man to burn. So he takes one of them and warms himself. So he kindles a fire to bake bread. He also makes a god and worships it. He makes it into a carved idol and falls down and worships it. He burns half of the wood in the fire. Over this half he eats meat. He roasts meat and is satisfied. And he warms himself and says, "Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire." But from what is left of the wood, he makes a god, his carved idol. He falls down before it, he worships it and prays to it and says, "Save me, for you are my God." They do not know, nor do they understand, for God has muddied their eyes so they cannot see, and their hearts as well, so that they cannot understand. No one remembers, nor has knowledge and understanding to say, "I have burned half of this log in the fire, and also baked bread on its coals, and have roasted meat and eaten it. Then I make the rest of it into a repulsive thing. I bow down to worship before a block of wood." That kind of man feeds on ashes. A deceived mind has led him astray, so that he cannot save himself or ask, "Is this thing that I am holding in my right hand not a lie?" I'm going to keep reading here, and then I'm about ready to come back to these scriptures, okay? Hey, Kimby, thank you so much for joining. "Remember these things, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I formed you. you are my servant. O Israel, you have not been forgotten by me. I have wiped out your transgressions like a thick cloud and your sins like a heavy mist. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. Shout for joy, O heavens, for the Lord has done it. Shout in triumph, you depths of the earth. Break forth into jubilant rejoicing, you mountains, O forest, and everything, every tree in it. For the Lord has redeemed Jacob, and he shows his glory in Israel. For the Lord your Redeemer, and he who formed you from the womb says, I am the Lord, maker of all things, who alone stretches out the heavens, who spreads out the earth by myself, frustrating the signs and confounding the omens of boasters, false prophets, making fools out of the fortune tellers, counteracting the wise and making their knowledge ridiculous, confirming the word of his servant and carrying out the plan of his messengers. It is I who says of Jerusalem, she shall again be inhabited, and the cities of Judah, they shall again be built, and I will raise up and restore her ruins. It is I who says to the deep, be dried up, and I will make your rivers dry. It is I who says of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, ruler, and he will carry out all that I desire. Saying of Jerusalem, she shall again be built, and the temple, your foundation, shall again be laid. So this is the chapter that the Lord brought me to the other day, and then he brought me back to it today. And when I read this, I felt like God was highlighting not just the idols that we see people make in this world of things, right? We looked at the different things, but he's speaking about even within the body, how we can idolize the fire. How we can idolize the fire. We can idolize the move of God, the signs, the wonders, the miracles, the not just those things, but the man that they come through. We can idolize these things. We can idolize receiving a prophetic word. We can idolize experiencing different things, but God is looking for us to look to him. God is doing so much. He is doing so much in this season, and we are seeing the move of God like never before. He is pouring out his spirit on all flesh, but he's looking for us to keep our eyes on him, not on the things that he's doing, because those blessings should never become the focal point. And we see people running after the fire. We see people running after the fire, and they're not running after God. They're running after the fire. Oh, I'm going to go there because there's revival there. I'm going to go here because there's revival here. I'm going to go there because revival's there. But are they coming before the Lord? Are they allowing God's fire to do the work in them, to point them back to him? When we come to Jesus, when we experience Jesus, when we encounter Jesus, there is a fire that will happen within us. We will be set ablaze. We won't have to look to people to generate a fire for us. We will be able to go forward and to see him move in our lives. And we will have deep personal relationship with him. And I truly believe that this chapter really is identifying this and calling this out to us, because he's then saying, I'm going to build you up. I'm going to build you up. These false gods aren't going to build you up. I'm going to build you up. God is the only one. He is the only one. When I love my husband, because he always points people back to Jesus. He always points people back to Jesus. People will have heavenly encounters, and he's not there to just like sit and hang out. He's like, you go spend time with Jesus. He's the only one. He's the only one who, when you have an encounter with him, you realize that he's the one that's going to be able to be there with you. These people in this chapter, they're not going to, the different ironsmith, the carpenters, the things that they create. They say that they make it like in the image of a human and worship it. These things are not God. And anybody who has tried to walk this walk out, if you've put your eyes on man, they will fail you every time. They will never be able to come through for you like God will. They may be there for you for the moment. They may be, the hands and feet of Jesus in the moment, but they will always fail to be God. We will always fail to be God. I will never be God. You will never be God. God is God, and he's the only one that can be there with you through every storm, through every situation. He's the only one that when you are there in the darkest of your night and you are having the hardest time, and you try to call everybody that you can call on the phone, and nobody else is going to be able to talk to you and get to you the way that God can. He's the only one. He's the only one. We are to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, but we are servants, and he is God. He is God. And so I believe the word of the Lord is for us to cast down idolatry of the fire, idolatry of the fire, idolatry of the fire, idolatry of the things that can even come from the fire, and look to the creator of the fire. These are things that can come from God, and we're grateful for them, but they are not God. They never will be God. Only God is God. And so that is what I was getting, and I wanted to release that to you. And then I also just wanted to encourage those that are going through fire right now, that are going through hard times right now. Know that this is a part of it. I was reading today too in Luke about the parable of the sower. And, there's a part where Jesus is breaking down this parable, and he starts to say how, there were various things. The devil came to take up the seed. Then there was the devil that came to take up the seed. He was representative of the birds of the air, right? Then there was the roots just not being deep enough into the ground. And then there were those who were on this rocky space. And the rocky space were those that were going through challenges. And when temptation and trials came, they weren't able to stand. And so that's indication that trials and temptations are going to come. And I think it's important for us to even recognize the temptation that's going to try to come. Sometimes we think, if I'm living for Jesus, I'm not going to feel temptation. But temptation tried to come to Jesus in the wilderness. Temptation is going to try to come and knock at your door. That doesn't mean that you aren't living for God. He's wanting you to be able to press past those feelings of pressure so that you can stand, so that you can go, so that the word will go into deep soil, so that you'll have those deep roots, and so that you'll be able to produce that harvest, that fruit. And he says, how do you do it? He said those that that endure with patience. And so this is something that is just part of it. This is a part of the refining fire. This is part of revival fire. This is how you produce fruit, is by staying and holding on. Blessed are those who are persecuted. Blessed are the meek. These are the people that lay themselves down, right? Blessed are the peacemakers, those that lay themselves down for peace. The blessed are these people. Anyways, so I just want to encourage you all this morning to check your perspective, check what you've got your eyes on. Turn your eyes to Jesus, not to the fire. We're excited about fire, but we're not looking to the fire as our saving grace. We're looking to the one with fire in his eyes. We're looking to Jesus Christ. Hold firm, hold fast. I love you all, and I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. Share it, comment, like, subscribe, all that. It helps get the video seen so more people can be ministered to. God bless you all. Love you all.